All right, guys. So I just started the recording just so that we can kind of get started. I know people are still trickling in. I won't make the mistake of having a waiting room on again. Apparently, that means I have to admit everybody coming in. So I might be a little bit distracted for the next few minutes as I keep having to allow everyone in. But thank you guys all so much for being here. If at any point there's a lot of background noise on my end, let me know. I'll pick up my laptop and go next door. And if the service is kind of iffy, let me know that as well. You can just speak up, unmute yourself, and let me know. Sorry, I'm still letting people in. So tonight we actually, we're supposed to have 4 consultants come on and share their recruiting stories that were like, if you have kids around, earmuff them, but kicking some ass and taking some names through 2019. So I'm like, I already know what they're doing. As of right now, Tanya, I think is the only one that's on. I see like a number. I don't know who that is. It may look like Heather Trotner. Not sure. But if it says iPhone or I don't know who you are. So I can't, if you're here, Mindy or whatever, I don't know that. But we're going to go ahead and get started. And I wanted to thank Tanya so much for being with us because, Tanya, tell everybody how many you recruited in 2019.
34.
34, you guys. She sponsored 34 personal recruits. That's, in my opinion, that's just absolutely amazing. She is coming to us from, am I saying it right, Bragg City, Missouri?
Yes, correct.
Okay, she's a superstar consultant, and she's been with us since January 2017. And like I said, she sponsored 34 brand new consultants. And before we get into it and asking her some questions, I want to just share a couple of things with you that I think we often forget, and you'll probably hear me say it more than once throughout this call. But someone might hear like, oh my gosh, she sponsored 34 consultants. That's never going to be me. And that's absolutely not the truth. You have to remember a couple of things. We all start as a team of one. The minute we click that join button, that's our team. We are our only team. We all start in the exact same position. And what we do from there, how we grow our business, how we sponsor, how we sell it, all of those things comes down to what we do as far as actions. Fear, unfortunately, keeps a lot of people from sponsoring. And I really think fear of rejection is probably up there. If not number one, I think it's probably pretty close to the top of the reason why people don't recruit. They're afraid people are going to say no. Sometimes they're not sure what to say or who to say it to. So I hope through tonight's call, we kind of squash all of that. I want to be able to give you guys some nuggets and some ideas, and to also let you know that you're not alone. If you think that you're the only one who maybe struggles with recruiting, or you are afraid of the who, the what, the why, all of those things. So you're never alone in this business. And tonight we're going to go through that. Tanya, I have kind of put together some questions, but before we do that, would you mind kind of sharing a little bit of your story with us?
Yeah, sure. So of course I joined back in January of 2017. It's been 3 years. I was with the company before Scentsy, and before Scentsy, I never even heard of Scentsy. So I seen a thing on Facebook of joining for $49. I joined, and I just went from there.
Did you know your sponsor?
I did not, and she's from Canada, so I never met her. Just met her through Facebook.
That's awesome. And did you use Scentsy prior to joining?
No, I've never heard of Scentsy till that day.
At all, period. That's crazy. There's so many people like that, like Heather Gorsuch. I can't remember exactly what her story is, but it's something similar. She was with another company. I think her aunt said you need to join Scentsy, and she didn't even own a warmer or whatever. And that was like 10 years ago. So it's just crazy to me that's
nobody asked me.
Yeah, nobody asked you.
Yeah.
Nobody asked you. Nobody.
Nope.
That's crazy to me. So when you share the Scentsy opportunity, what is something that you might say to a potential recruit, somebody you want to join your team? What's something you might say to them?
My main thing that's worked really good for me is fixing and closing order. Would you hang on, I got a note, sorry. I'm fixing to close a Scentsy party. I'd love to share my postage awards to get your kit. Would you be interested?
So you definitely take advantage of the hostess flipping and the host exclusive kit.
I do.
Is it always?
But I'll make sure the people are actually gonna. Sorry.
No, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
But make sure it's the people that's actually interested, not like just gonna join for the kit. I want to make sure they're actually dedicated and gonna actually do the work.
Yeah.
And not just steal my stuff and not do nothing, which have had happened.
Well, we've all had a kidnapper or two in our day. I'm sure it won't be the last. So when you're offering the host exclusive kit, do you know that person, or because I know you can obviously offer it to the hostess of that party, but let's say you have a party of your own, $200 or $300. Do you just put it out there on Facebook like, hey, I have a host exclusive kit. Does anybody want it?
I message people I've talked to before that's been interested in joining. I usually post every day about joining Scentsy, and they come to me asking to join Scentsy.
What do you?
If they don't have the money, I'm telling them. Do what?
I said share something that you would put on social media. Like, what's something that you would say to get people to come to you?
I share my story. I don't know. I guess from the excitement I share, the passion I share of Scentsy and stuff, just regular posts, even just simple posts about Scentsy, they come to me asking to join because they see how much I love Scentsy and everything.
So you're not necessarily posting like a $99 join flyer or, especially like that. You're sharing personal information, personal stories, things like that,
yes.
personal images, right? And I think that's where the difference comes in. It's great to take a promotional flyer and say, hey, we've got a $15 join special or join for this, $59 host kit, things like that. But I think it's important to really drive home the fact that it's the stories and the personal images. My daughter's not going to stop calling me. She is 22 years old, and I just ignored her twice with a slide up. I can't talk now. She just keeps calling back. So I apologize for that. But for those of you who have young children and think they're going to outgrow it, they don't. Okay, I'm here to tell you that they're just more persistent when they're older. Okay, so I'm sorry I lost track on that, but definitely the stories are more attractive.
I try to keep everything personal. Yeah. I mean, like with the $15 promotion and the $49 one, I do post flyers for that because I have nothing on hand on that situation. But I try to keep personal in some way.
Well, I think that's important. And it's actually kind of some of the stuff I'm going to talk about later on is creating a rapport and a relationship with people. And it's through storytelling, because we can post facts about our business all day long. We can post that we have a $99 or $129 kit in Canada. We can post that we have the host exclusive kits and in the images and all the facts and what comes in it. And that's great information to share, but it's not attractive. It doesn't really excite people and bring them in necessarily. I think it's more of showing people the lifestyle. How can this benefit you? What problem can this solve for you? And I think that that's a common mistake, and why people get stuck and why they can't recruit is because they're going after the facts, right? They're not sharing, for example, I'm sick home, homesick in bed, and yet I can work. I don't have to call into my boss, or my kids are homesick and I get to still work my business. I didn't have to call in. Those are the types of things that were attractive to me personally when I joined. Not at first, because at first I was like, ooh, this is a $5 bar of wax that I must share with the world. It wasn't until I got into it a little bit and I started thinking, okay, this is a business, and the benefits of this business were amazing for my family at that time. So I try to remember that when I'm sharing things. I need to make sure that I'm relating and I'm touching on life points that are important to people. Staying home with their kids, having extra money for groceries or shoes or nails or bills or retirement, vacations, all of those things are going to initially bring people into you and get you watching. And I know for me personally, like when I used to travel a lot with Scentsy, I used to take all of the incentive trips. I've kind of cut back a little bit for personal reasons. I had somebody come to me years after I'd asked her to join. She wasn't interested when I first asked her, you guys, but what happened was she saw me, it was after Dominican Republic. She's like, okay, I'm tired of watching you go on all these trips without me. She's like, I'm ready to say yes, right? And she built an amazing team very, very quickly. She loved it. She had a tragedy strike, and unfortunately she's no longer with us, but I wasn't hounding her. I wasn't sending her messages all the time. I'd asked her, we talked here and there, but it was the stories that my pictures were telling that were on social media that are why she decided eventually she wanted to go ahead and join. Again, it's being relatable. It's connecting with people. So yeah. I have to agree with everything that you said. How about this question? This one's going to be a good one for you guys, because it is probably one of the reasons most people don't even ask to begin with. They're afraid someone's going to say no. So what is it? How do you handle it, Tanya, when someone you ask to join, they say no? What's that do for you?
Well, I just tell them, if you ever decide you want to, eventually I'll be here for you.
Yeah.
If you decide it's something that you want to try.
Well, and another thing on top of that you can also try saying is, well, if you think of anybody else that you know that would be good at this.
Right.
Because they're
refer them to me.
Exactly. And again, kind of going backwards, because everything in this business is connected. Like, they're going to remember you. So if they hear of somebody who needs Scentsy or wants, to join a direct sales company, anything about it, you want them to think of you first and foremost and be like, this girl was super sweet. She's got a great story. She's always going on trips. Her kids are always helping her. Whatever that connector is, you want them to think of you. And you don't want them to think, oh, she just gave me the facts, like it's $99 and you have to sell $200 every 4 months. Because that's boring. Nobody's going to really remember all that. Doesn't make a great impact on people. Yes, it's important information that they need, but it's not what brings them to you. So no doesn't mean forever. It might mean not right now. And it doesn't mean that they're not going to refer you. So don't cut that person off thinking, well, they said no, I'm going to go on. It's not the end of the world, you guys. No is going to happen. It's part of the job, unfortunately, and you can't take it personal. You've heard me say it 1,000 times. When the waitress asks you for coffee or dessert at the end of dinner and you say no, she is not in the corner crying. She is going on to the next table like nothing even happened, and you have to get in the habit of asking everybody that you come in contact with and being okay with people saying no. It's really not the end of the world. Tara, I think, joined us. I can't see where she went, but I think she's on. Okay, Tara, if you can unmute, you can jump in on some of these questions as well. Tara is coming to us. Let me go back to these notes. Let's see, Monday. Okay, so Tara will be a future director if she keeps building her team just like Tanya will be. She sponsored 17 new consultants in the year 2019. But I also want to point out that she'd only been a consultant for about 9 months by inviting all those people, she'd only been a consultant 9 months. So that's pretty remarkable. I don't know that if she can unmute you guys. Let me just check the chat real quick.
Jody, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Is that Mindy?
Yeah, I've been here since the beginning. I just didn't know if you knew I was here.
I don't know. I don't even see you.
That's weird. Does anybody else see me?
There you go. I see you now. Yep. Gotcha.
That's weird. Yeah, because I'm like, okay, I got like 10 minutes. I got to get in the arena.
All right, let me introduce Mindy real quick. I talked about you before. I think you were on. I don't know. But Mindy's going to she's our future star director. She's from Canada. She's been a consultant since May of 2015. She leads Team North American Hustlers, which I love. And she's personally sponsored 27 new consultants in 2019. So she has to go to hockey really quick. So I'm just going to let her give it to you. How do you do it? How are you sponsoring these people?
Okay, so I actually wrote I typed everything up. Sorry, my daughter's going in and out of the van. I don't know what she's doing. Oh, she's doing Snapchat or something. I don't know. Anyways, I'm sitting in my car, guys, outside of the arena. My son's got hockey in like 10 minutes. So, Nevaeh, get in here, please. So my life is just all crazy. So I've written everything down. So if you see me like bouncing back and forth, that's why. Just because, Nevaeh, shut the door, please. Shut the door. Just because I've been sick for like 3 weeks. So my brain is like squirrel. So just to let you know, if I'm like that, that's why. Everybody can hear me okay? Jody, you can hear me? Everything's good? Okay. All right. So what I do usually is like to think, keep things more on a personal level in regards to recruiting. I like to make it about you, not myself. So when I first joined, I was told by leaders, keep it short, keep it sweet, and I don't go by that. I like to jump in. I like to be raw. I like to be transparent with them. I want them to know exactly how the Scentsy business has worked for me, what it's done for me. Sorry, I'm like squirrel because everything's around me. Anyway, so one of the things that I do when I message people is I'll be like, hey there, so listen, I was thinking about you, because you want to make it about them, right? This is a business for them. This isn't a business for you. And some people, that's where they go wrong. Like, they're like, hey, you want to join my team? You want to join my team? And to me, that's more like you're thinking of you, you're not thinking of them. So you have to make it about them, because ultimately this is their business, this is for them. And as a leader, you need to always know that you are leading people to be successful in their business. You're not leading people for your paycheck, right? So that's one of the big things that I try to train my leaders, is that this isn't for you, it's for them, and you need to lead them to success. This is about them, this is about their family. So I will let them know, hey, I was thinking about you, how awesome you are, and just how much you love Scentsy. Have you ever considered joining Scentsy? Instead of paying me to place your orders, you can order for yourself, and you can earn 20 to 30% in cash back plus more. And then I'll go into detail exactly like what the cash back is when it comes to commission-wise. Also, I will let them know that, I will be their mentor. I will be there for them for the entirety of their business. And that we also have an amazing team that's there to help them, guide them to success, if they allow us to. My group is amazing. I have 105, I think, in my group on my team. And honestly, like, everybody is so supportive and just absolutely amazing. I have the best leaders, and I couldn't ask for anything better. So when we bring someone in, sometimes I'll actually bring people into the team page, so they get a little bit of a feel. If they're really sitting on the fence and I know that they're literally just right there on the cusp, right? They're like ready to just take the leap, I'll invite them to the page and I will introduce them, and then my team makes them feel at home. So that's another option that you guys have, that you're able to do with. If they reply that they've considered it, I'll let them know about all the perks, how easy it is to join, and how everybody absolutely loves the product. The product sells itself, guys. It truly sells itself. There's no having to really market Scentsy, because it sells it. It does. It sells itself. So I've had so many people that are like, oh, I was so scared to join, but oh my gosh, I've done amazing. Hit shooting star first day, right? I'm also very transparent with them. I tell them my story. I always tell them my story, because my story is much like everybody else's. My husband was unemployed. He got laid off. I maxed out our credit card to buy the join kit. I had been asked since 2009 when it first came to Canada to join, and I finally took the leap in 2015. Took me a long time, but I finally did it. So we were literally living off of nothing. It was terrible. And then, sorry, yeah, I'm transparent with them. I let them know everything about my story, because everybody can relate. And then I'll discuss my success within the business, as well as my team success. Like I'll mention, certain people, like if we're getting into that discussion, I will talk to them. Some of my join conversations last hours, they last days. And then, people take the leap and then they join, because you want to make it about them. You don't want to make it about you. I love sharing the Scentsy opportunity. Honestly, this is my passion. Recruiting people is my passion. I say recruiting, it's not really recruiting, it's getting people to join your Scentsy family. But we say it as recruiting, and it's my passion. It's 100% what I love to do. Sorry. Anyways, at first it was a struggle for me to do it. I'm very open. I'm a very open person, but when it comes to me trying to recruit people, I was a little reluctant. But as time went on and I seen how easy it was, I don't even know how many were recruited in my first 6 months with Scentsy, but it was a lot. Yeah, so it's definitely, it's scary, but it's something you can get over. One thing you need to know though is you need to talk about it beyond social media. So I've made Scentsy my everyday life. It's a part of me. I wear it. I talk about it. Everything I do is, it's my everyday life. Was on my vehicle. It's gone now. But that's one thing that you need to do. Is you need to be consistent with making it a part of you. It's a part of my family too, because it pays for a lot of what we do. Anyway, so I've never had any negative feedback when it comes to reaching out to people ever. I've always been successful at recruiting, and I've only been at it for 4 years, and I've recruited 101 in my 4 years, and I've reinstated 24 that were not my previous. I've never had them before. So 125 essentially in my 4 years of being a consultant. I recruit mostly off social media. I do join posts. I do not boost posts. So some people complain because they boost posts and they're getting nothing out of it. I get nothing out of boost posts. So I don't ever invest into that. I'm very consistent with posting. First contacts and follow-up contacts. It's very important to keep a journal of all those who you've spoken to and their replies with dates. Then you're able to go back, reevaluate, and then reconnect. I've spoken to the same person 7 times and they've said no. Then they've come to me. Be that buzz in their ear to make them constantly be thinking about you, joining and becoming a big part of your Scentsy family. That's one thing I instill in my team. You need to be the buzz in their ear. So be consistent and don't ever be afraid of talking to or reaching out to people in regards to joining your Scentsy family. Be absolutely real with them. I'm upfront and honest. I let them know either way they can join for their own discount, or they can join for some extra income to earn trips and potentially to be a very successful business owner. I let them know honestly that it doesn't come easy. If they want to make this a business, they have to work for it. And I am very, very, very raw with that because some people think it's a get rich easy whatever, and it's not. You have to work to actually do it. And there's still people on my team now that think that. They're like, well, why am I not making anything? But you're not posting, you're not being consistent, you're not reaching out to people, so it works the same way. Sales and recruiting work the same way, except for you'll get more sales than recruits. Anyways, it comes with a ton of work. Walt Disney didn't get to where he is today by doing a one-time and done. He was consistent and turned down multiple times. Scentsy themselves were turned down, and the very man who turned them down openly has spoken to express his regret in doing so. Our very own Orville, he never quit. Even when things were hard, they were $750,000 in debt, and he never quit. He was persistent and consistent, which is exactly what it takes to make a business successful. So many people think direct sales is quick and easy to get rich scheme, but trust me, it takes hard work to get there. Your leaders today worked extremely hard to get to where they are now, and they never quit, even when times got tough. This is one thing I like to tell my team all the time. If someone says no, that they're not interested, that's success. Do not get down on yourself because someone has said no. I got to turn on the heat. Sorry, it's really hot in here. Don't get down on yourself if someone says no. When you reach out to someone, if they say no, it's 100% success. Don't be like, oh man, they said no. You may think that this is not, but trust me, you have now put that bug in their ear. And it will stay. Follow up again in the next few months. Join specials. Let them know about the hostess kit. Speaking of hostess kit, always offer these to your potentials constantly. Before you close out a party, never close out a party before offering that to one of your potentials. So if you guys don't know about the hostess join, every time you have a party order that meets the minimum, so in Canada it's 265, in the US it's 200. Every time you have a party that meets the minimum, you can now add the hostess kit for $59 US, $77 Canadian, and it will come off the credit amount. So you can add that and you can have someone join for as little or as much as you want. So you can actually charge them the $77, or you can charge them the $59, or you can charge them $0. It doesn't matter what you charge them, that's ultimately up to you. And then you can choose to flip them. So if they're a party hostess and they say have got $500 worth of orders, that's going to be $50 in free product credit, which ultimately will make their kit $9, right? Yes. which would make their kit $9. Sorry, I'm just trying to think of the US conversions here. So always offer that kit. Don't let that pass by. If anybody doesn't even, like, if they're worried, like they're like, well, what if, I'm going to lose that PRV if I end up flipping them. Trust me, you're going to make more money off your flip than you are off the party in the long run. Your recruits are going to be best for you. Your customers are best for you as recruits rather than customers. So yes, your best customers are your best recruits. Trust me, the amount of commission you'll make off of them over time far surpass the amount of commissions you make off of your monthly, every other 6-pack of bar order. Customers are the easiest to get, but teammates are a bit more challenging. So if your customer is ordering, say, $100 a month or $200, they're best to be on your team rather than your customer, always. If you struggle with recruiting, you may be doing it the wrong way. Don't be afraid to reach out to everyone. Don't be afraid to speak up, and always remember they are not paying your bills, you are. And I tell my team all the time because they're saying, I'm scared of talking to people. I'm scared someone's gonna block me. I'm scared of posting too much. I'm scared of reaching out. Why are you scared? These people are not paying your bills. And like Jody said earlier, what is happening when the waitress comes up and she says, hey, can I get you a coffee or a tea? And you say no, and then she just walks away and she goes about her business. She's not worried, right? So neither should you be. You got to understand something though. These people are not paying your bills. So whether you reach out and they say no or they say yes, always take that no as success, because now that bug is in their ear. But yeah, you need to just stop thinking that people are going to block you. There's an unfollow button for a reason, and I tell my family, my Scentsy family, this all the time. If someone is annoyed by me, unfollow me. It's as simple as that, or unfriend me, because you're not paying my bills. I am. So never be scared to reach out regardless of whom they are, as you need to put your family first. Trust me, in my 4 years, I personally added 101 and reinstated 24 who were not mine before to my Scentsy family, and you can too if you're consistent. And don't let a simple no get you down. Asking and hearing a no is success, and be proud that you got that bug in their ear, because they're going to end up coming to you in the end when they're ready to join. Keep doing the follow-up. Reinstating, that's one thing that people are not aware of. A lot of consultants aren't aware of this either, that reinstating is absolutely free. So anybody who's ever joined Scentsy before and has fallen off the Scentsy wagon, you need to let them know that they can come back absolutely free. There's a kit that people are talking about. They're like, oh, well, I don't have the money for the kit. They don't need to get the kit. They don't need to get the kit. So they can come back absolutely free, and then they can work from that. I do have to go in, but I wanted to show something that in regards to sponsoring. I have received several of these. It is the top sponsor of the month. So there is an award for you doing sponsoring. It's top sponsor of the month. I just grabbed this one that was sitting on my desk. A lot of mine got ruined in a flood. Anyway, so this is the top sponsor per country, and then it's also per rank. So at director, top sponsor, right? Superstar, consultant, top sponsor, and then you get this wicked. I love the charm. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. You get this wicked charm. It's a key with a heart and a little jewel. So you get that charm for your bracelet as well. It's the top sponsor of the month. So you guys need to work towards being a top sponsor of the month for your rank and your country. And let that be a goal of yours for this year, including annual mentor award. And I'm sure you guys know what annual mentor award is. If not, it is you have personally sponsored 14 recruits from May 1st to April 30th. The year changes over on May 1st. So from May 1st to April 30th, it is annual mentor award, and it means you have personally sponsored at least 14, a minimum of 14, that have certified. If you earn that, there is a pretty decent sized check that comes along with that at the end of the year. I don't know what you did with it. Sorry, my daughter's getting anxious here. But does anybody have any questions quick?
I love that you're in your car and you're talking all this awesomeness and you're like just handling your business, going about your day. I love it. Thank you. I know that it's hard sometimes to fit, these calls in, but you're living what you said. You said you marry, basically your life and your business are one. And when you do that, you will see an incredible shift in your business because you're not trying to separate family time and Scentsy time. They kind of go together, and you doing this call from your car sitting outside the hockey arena is proof to that.
Yes.
So I know you have to go, Mindy. We can ask the questions if they come up with any questions that I can't answer or this specifically for you. I'll have them put it in the Grit and Grace page and tag you so you can get inside to the arena. Thank you.
Yeah,
You're so
definitely.
knowledgeable. I loved it. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, it was just like a quick little spiel. But guys, guess what I'm going to do? And another thing you guys need to be on the ball is fundraisers, because I am doing a fundraiser also for the hockey arena. And so that's what I need to go discuss with them as well. So you guys need to get on the ball with fundraisers as well. But this one is about recruiting, so let's stick to that. But all right, guys, thank you. And I am going to be jumping off because I got to get in the arena.
All right, bye. Have fun.
Jody, thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Yep. Okay, so now Tara, I think, has figured out how to unmute herself. Tara, are you there, hon?
Yes.
Oh, yay, there you are. Okay, so let me go back in my notes a little bit. I know I'm kind of all over the place with this, but hey, that's kind of like go with the flow. So okay, so I think I mentioned this earlier. We're going to just say that Tara is our future director. 17 personally sponsored recruits in the year 2019. I told you she joined December 29th, 2018. So really in 9 months, she has sponsored that many new consultants. And I think it's just fantastic. Tara, do you want to tell us anything? Like, how did you do that?
Well, what Mindy had us do originally was write down 100 people, friends, family, whatever. And within a week, we had to message all 100 of those people. 99 of them told me no. And that made me want to do it again, but with yes. The only person who agreed to join out of those 100 was my sister. And then I told her she couldn't join because she would steal all my customers. So I now have my sister under me and my mother, who we share customers. It's a tough situation, but it works. But so after the 100, when I only had one, I wrote down 500 people's names. People I knew, people on my Facebook, people from work. And I spent like a month messaging each of these people, but with their own message. It wasn't like a copy and paste. It wasn't, it somehow led to Scentsy with something I knew about them. And I ended up getting, I believe, 8 yeses out of that. And then right after that, we had our first, since I've been a consultant, our first $20 join promo. And that made half of the no's that I got turn to yeses, because the majority of them were, I can't afford it, or, I don't have, so I'm Canadian, so the kit's $129. So they would say, I don't have that right now, and etc. So when it became $20, half of my no's turned to yes. And then it was a matter of timing, okay, let me join this day. So I had joined, I think last month or the month before, I had a team of 34. It shrunk down to 22, I think, now this month. But this time around, I have learned that while I'm sponsoring, even though all those people said no, said yes and joined, a lot of them didn't work it. So I have a huge team, but I don't have a huge working team. And so now when I recruit people, after they say yes, I would love to join, whatever, then I go on to ask them, well, why would you like to join? What would your goals be? And how can I help you reach those goals? And I had messaged everyone on my team and under anyone who's under me to ask them the same things, like, what are your goals? How can we reach them, etc. only 3 people from my entire team that isn't my direct downline even answered me. So yeah, you can sponsor a whole bunch of people, but what they're going to do with it is what's important. So I try and stick with people who actually want it and who, you know, are going to work and make an effort. I work 2 full-time jobs. I have a 10-year-old, and I have never had a month where I didn't submit something. I got Shooting Star. I got Sensational Start level 1, 2, and 3. I've hit every milestone. I just got 10,000 lifetime PRV this month, and it's my 1 year this month as well. So I've managed to do all that with 2 full-time jobs, and it's easy. It's so easy. It's you know, the recruits you get and the lifestyle you make. Like, my daughter helps immaculately. She takes the business cards and she loves to make samples, and, you know, she staples them together and walks around the neighborhood, puts them in people's mailboxes. I personally won't do that, but it's fun for a 10-year-old, so go ahead.
Well, I love that. I mean, and what you said about, you know, you can, for some people it's easy to sponsor, especially when we have like a $15 or $20 join special. But the important thing that you need to remember is that you also need to get them active. You need to get them working. And one of the best and easiest ways to do that is to have some sort of relationship with them and to talk to them. Who's unmuted? So, sorry, Tanya, I just muted you really quick just because there's background noise. So we got to get them working, and you got to, like Tara just said, she's like, okay, what are your goals? What can I help you with? What do you want to do? And the truth of the matter is, you guys, not everybody's going to join our business and be like gung ho. They want, you know, they want to make Superstar Director and they want the $10,000 or more a month. That some people start quite literally because they want a discount on product. They want a girls' night out, whatever their reason is. You need to know what that is so that you can help them achieve that goal. And what you'll find sometimes is, as you become closer to that person, the more conversations you have with them, is that they realize that there's more to this business. Some people only think, well, I can join just to get a discount. They don't realize that there is a real business opportunity here. They don't realize that it's how I describe it sometimes is, people is like, if someone said to you, hey, I'm going to give you this McDonald's franchise, you just got to pay $99 and show up every day. That's all you got to do. We'll take care of legal. We'll take care of product development. We'll take care of everything else. You just got to show up. This is kind of what we do in direct sales, right? We have a very low startup cost, and all the big stuff happens back here. We don't have to do any of that. We just got to get up here, sell some products, share the opportunity with people. We have it pretty easy. And once people come on board, they kind of realize oh, this is a real business. This isn't just a $99 in a catalog. I have real opportunity here if I do X, Y, and Z. So helping them figure out what that is sometimes is all it takes to get them to flip a switch and be really like, okay, I'm ready to do something else with it. So I loved what Tara said about asking them the questions and showing them what it is, how they can reach the goal, whatever it is that they've told you about. I know that some of you guys got to jump off, and we're going a little bit over. So I'm going to kind of wrap up some things that I had jotted down really quickly, just because I don't want to keep you guys too long. I wanted to keep this around 30 to 40 minutes, and we're at that right now. I started off when I told you guys, don't let fear stop you from recruiting. A lot of times people don't even ask the question because they're afraid that the person is going to say no. That is no longer an option. The list of 100 or the list of 500 that Tara made, which is super freaking impressive, is, honest to God, so important. And I know you guys have heard it. If you've been around for a while, you've heard it multiple times. But have you actually done it? Have you sat down and made your list of 100? In Grit and Grace, in the units, and I can't remember the name of the unit. It might be under the new consultant one. So it's under unit 1. There is an amazing YouTube video that shows you how to make a list of 100. And it's not just the people that you know, right? It's like starting like kind of what Tara probably did. She starts with this name here, and then she bubbles off of it. And this person has a sister and an aunt and a coworker, and it's just a different way to look at it and to build that list of 100. And I'm telling you, it makes a difference. So not only can you reach out to these people for joining opportunities, but you can reach out for hosting opportunities as well. When you host parties, you meet new people. When you meet new people, you meet new potential recruits. It's all a circle. It's all one big, it's all connected in this business. Another quick thing I want to tell you is don't assume you're going to know the answer. A lot of people will say, I'm not going to ask my best friend or my mom or my sister or whoever because I know they're going to say no. You don't know that. You're not even giving them the opportunity to tell you yes if you never even ask. And we've talked about it a couple of times tonight. If they say no to you right now, it doesn't mean that it is forever, and it doesn't mean that they won't send somebody your way further down the line. What if they're busy right now or they think they can't do it, but in a year they find their life in a different situation? They're like, I really could use some extra money, or heck, I really like Scentsy and I don't want to pay full price for it. Their situation, the reasons why they want to join might change. So you have to at least put the bug, plant the seed, put the invitation out there, right? And if you don't ask them, somebody else will. And some of us who've been around a long time had to learn this lesson the very, very hard way. When we didn't ask somebody, that person joins under somebody else and they are now a star or superstar director. It's a kick in the face. Don't do it. It hurts. It hurts real bad. You want to invite everyone to your team, not just a couple of people. If you're only inviting friends and family, if that's the only pool of people that you're working with, you've got to expand that. And there are countless ways to expand it. You've got the World Wide Web. You've got fundraisers. You've got hosting. Do the list of 100 we talked about. It will be eye-opening of the different people that you think of. I know I'm going fast. It's because I know we're running out of time. Mindy talked about it, and I know, I think Tanya also talked about it earlier, is how will Scentsy benefit them? You make this about them. A couple of questions, and we can work on these questions that came to my mind today was, you want to ask people questions, but like, what would it be? You can ask them, would you love to get Scentsy for free and make some money? Stop it right there. Now they have to answer you. Then you build the conversation for them. What if your home always smelled amazing? Would your family appreciate it? I have kids and dogs. If I don't have Scentsy on, my house smells like crap. So I would say, yes, I would appreciate my house to always smell good. Again, you're helping them to see why Scentsy would be a good benefit for them. And this could be either hosting, buying, or joining, right? Some people you could say, would you like to stay home with your kids more? Some people might say no. It will happen. Some people might say yes. Then again, you can let them see why this will help them, why this is a benefit in their life. We've talked about building relationships and rapport with people. You want to be, people want to be a part of something. And women, we often want to feel wanted, not just for laundry, not just to make a sandwich. You know, like we don't want to just clean the house. We want to feel accepted among our peers. We want to, like, it's like a little club that we have here. And sometimes that's all women want. They're like, I just want to come because it looks like you're always having fun with your friends. So build on that. I know there was something else in there I wanted to say. Let me just look at my notes. We talked about how stories connect.
Can I say something really quick, Jody?
Yeah, go ahead, Cookie. JP?
I just wanted to it literally was an aha while listening to y'all. One thing that we've said multiple times, I've heard multiple times is, don't be afraid to ask because they might say no. I know in my experience, and I can attest that I'm guilty of it. I've been afraid to ask because I was afraid they were going to say yes and that I wasn't going to know what to do next. And I think that a lot of people will feel that. Don't be afraid to ask because you have an amazing upline that can help you. So don't ever feel like you aren't capable of doing it. I have been guilty of being like, oh my gosh, they said yes, and I don't even know what the first thing to say or whatever. Yeah. So like, it kind of resonated with me, some things I've heard tonight. And I was like, I think I've been guilty of afraid of the yes as well. So
that's a good point. I mean, you're right though, because how many times do you hear a new consultant say, well, ask me about joining or I thought about it, but I'm so new, I don't know what to say. There's so many tools on your workstation, on any of the Facebook pages, your upline, all of those people are here to help you. So never be afraid of that. I sponsored my first consultant at my very first party. I had a team of 8 and made director in less than 6 weeks. I had no idea what I was doing, you guys. I had to figure it out. It's still okay. And people will know that. If you're honest and upfront with them and saying, I'm still new and we're figuring this out, but I would love it for you to come do Scentsy with me and we can learn together. that just builds more trust. That means that they know you're not going to BS them. You're going to do your best. You're going to be there and you're going to figure it out together. And it goes a really long way. Like, I still don't fake it now. If I don't know the answer, I'm not afraid to say to somebody, oh, I back in 2008, I knew our catalog inside and out. I knew the prices. I knew the fragrance. I knew everything. Today, I got to look at all. I can't. I don't know it. I can't remember all of it. There's just so much more. It's okay to be honest and be like, I don't know, but I'm going to find out. I'm going to look it up for you, whatever the answer is. A couple more things that you want to set, and I don't know if you've ever done this before. You've done. We talk about setting goals a lot, but we set goals like an overall goal. I want this much money. I want to do this. I want to do that. What about recruiting goals? Have you ever set a goal to say, I'm going to ask X amount of people today, this week, this month to join my team? If you've not done that, and I'm guilty of it, I think that we need to make that our focus as a collective group and see what we can do. And then, this whole year as a whole, but just by next week, let's see how many people can we invite. I'm going to set it to be, I'm going to start with 15. That's my goal. I'm going to invite 15 people, and I'll let you know how it goes. If you guys are willing to take that challenge, post it in Grit and Grace. Let us know what your goal is, and then let us know the outcome of it. And do not be embarrassed, ashamed, afraid to say, I asked 15 people and 15 people said no, because you're not alone. You're never alone in this business. The good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between, we're all here together. And we've done recruiting blitzes before where we were very honest. We're like, yeah, I asked 10 people and I got, 10 no's and a maybe, and then they never heard back from them. It's okay. You're not alone. Let me just make sure I covered everything because we are running into almost an hour. I'm sorry. Okay, we talked about that. Train, ask, offer, invite. So just reiterate, every time you close a party, offer for that person to join. Have you ever thought about joining? You can flip the party with using the host exclusive kit, or you can just flip the party where they get the entire party. They put it in underneath themselves. They get the PRV, all of that. If they're local to you, you can do that. For me, if they're order online, you cannot change an online order to flip it unless you do it this way. Checking into other day, what to do. So get in the habit of every time you're checking out a customer, of asking them about if they've ever thought about doing what you do, and or inviting them. Say, have you ever thought about doing what I do? I think you'd be really, really good at it. Point out to people why you think they would be a good fit for Scentsy. Some people just need somebody else to point out the belief in them. Maybe they're just really organized. Maybe they're really good talkers. Like my father-in-law, he would have been great at this job because he would talk to anybody. He would have been a fabulous fit for Scentsy. Maybe it's, that they need some mommy time. They need some adult time, or they're just super involved in maybe their kids' activities. That's another great. We're in the business of networking, you guys. Networking equals talking to people. So people who are busy often have a great business because they're coming in contact with the most people. So if you know somebody who's involved in church and in fundraisers and in school activities, they would actually be a really good fit on your team. You just maybe need to show them why and how it would work for them. So I know Tanya's phone died. So she's gone. I want to thank her. I want to thank Tara and Mindy for getting on. Does anybody have any questions? I know I rambled really quick at the end there for you. And I saw you shaking your head yes about setting a goal of asking so many people. Are you on board with me? Are you going to do it with me? Come on, Andrew, do it with me.
Absolutely.
I love it. You're always up for a challenge. Love it.
I'm there. I make excellent money. I do 9 county fairs, 4 state fairs, and you do the New York State Fair. I don't do New York State Fair. I'm there. I make excellent money. I do 50 out of 52 weeks with shows, but I do not do recruiting. That's my downfall.
Oh, not this year. It's not going to be. We're changing.
No, it's not.
We're shifting. I'm telling you, we're taking everybody on a ride this year. The directors in this group, we've had some really hard conversations the last few weeks, and we're like, all right, we're ready to go. Let's take everyone with us, and we're just going to try and take you guys and teach you more and do more, and we'll figure it out together. We don't have all the answers, but I believe as a collective, as a group, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, my goal this year is recruiting.
Yeah,
because
I'm with you. I mean, I need more.
got everything else
Yep.
down pat.
Yep.
I mean, my PRVs are there. The money is there. I mean, it bought me a brand new fifth, or not a fifth wheel, a motorhome.
Right.
It bought me my Camaro, everything. I just
build
need
the
the
team.
recruiting.
Yeah. Well, that's our focus. It's going to start with, inviting people. That's really all it comes down to. We can't let the fear of no or rejection hold
Well,
us
you
back.
need the no's to get the excellent yeses.
Yeah. We got this, guys. We got it. Does anybody else have any other questions? Hey, Deb Berge, I didn't even see you sitting up in that corner. Sugar britches. I love you.
Sorry, just sitting here relaxing.
Well, relaxing and working at the same time. I love it. What's better than that?
Yeah, I got out of work at 5:30, so I'm bushed.
5:30. So what are you at? Are you 2 hours behind Eve?
No, just one.
Okay. Cookie must be building something.
It looks like it.
I got you. Oh, she's got a hammer. All right, guys. Thank you so much for getting on. Like I said, check out that link in the new consultant unit for the list of 100. It really was like, holy crap, when I watched it. She's not a Scentsy person either. And then let us know what's your goal for how many people you're going to mention the opportunity and ask to come along. So we're not going to build a team if we're never asking. So let's get out there and ask. But anything else?
No.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. You guys have a great night, and I'm sure we'll be talking very, very soon. Good night, everybody.
You too. Good night.
Bye.